Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. As always, I'm MacLeod, so grab yourself a beer or drink of your choice and let's talk some video games. Alright, welcome back to the show everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in again. I do appreciate it. If you didn't watch my channel update that I threw together last weekend, I was traveling again, so that's why there wasn't any news last week. But also, we hit the 50 sub mark, which is fantastic news. So that's news within a news. We're getting all Inception up in here. Enough about me, let's get into this week's gaming news. So this story caught my attention because in my personal life I am a scientist of sorts, or I was anyway. I'm studied in biology and molecules and chemistry, all that fun stuff. So if you haven't heard of it, there's a game/simulation called Foldit, which is essentially a graphical representation of molecules and how they fold together with all their neat little atomic interactions and stuff. So science aside, that thing has been helping scientists tremendously because gamers everywhere are able to play it and help them determine the structures of molecules. So this past week, researchers at the University of Washington, they've had this problem where they can't determine the structure of a vital enzyme in the HIV to AIDS process of how it evolves. So they decided as a last-ditch effort they'll put it out there to Foldit players, and within 10 days the players determined the structure of this molecule. And that is pretty fantastic. So that's like a major win, at least in my opinion, because it's two of my most favorite things, science and gaming, and they're all happy together. So yeah, now that they know the structure, they can work on methods of attacking that specific molecule and hopefully maybe put together a cure for that disease. Looks like I have like a gateway to heaven back here. Hold on a sec. Ah, there we go. Alright, so next up on my list of things to talk about, we're talking about one of my most favorite series, and that will be Final Fantasy. Their parent company, Square Enix, has decided to formulate a committee of sorts to determine quality control, basically, since they haven't had much luck recently in pleasing their fans with the Final Fantasy games that they've been releasing. So they've announced 4 members of this committee so far. I'm sure there's going to be a couple more people involved eventually. But they are Yoshinori Kitase, director of Final Fantasy 6, 7, and 8, and 10, some of my most favorite ones in the series. Hajime Tabata, director of basically the Crisis Core stuff. And Naoki Yoshida, who basically spearheaded the Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn relaunch. He got that game all patched up and seems like it's been having quite a bit of success. Now the one member that I can't quite understand why he's on the board is Motomo Toriyama, who is the director for all 3 of Final Fantasy XIII games, which probably have the least shiny reputation of any Final Fantasy. Lightning Returns is coming. That's the 3rd and final in the series of 13. We will see if he maybe corrected some of the things that people have been complaining about. I don't know though, Final Fantasy fans are a very fickle bunch, so we'll see if he's able to win back anybody with Lightning Returns. Now noticeably absent from the committee is Tetsuya Nomura, but I'm guessing that's just because he's so busy punching together Final Fantasy 15, which we don't have a release date yet, but I'm assuming it's coming next year, if I had to guess. Maybe, hopefully. So hopefully with the formation of this committee we'll see improvement in quality, and hopefully it makes everybody involved happy, because, you know, good games are always a good thing. Alright, and last up on my list of things to talk about, we're talking Elder Scrolls Online. Now if you haven't seen the trailer or any of the beta stuff going on for that, you can head over to ZeniMax's website. They do have an open beta going right now. I was invited to it, but they sent me a PC version of the game rather than a Mac version. So I've tried contacting their support, and that's been a whole mess, but that's besides the fact. So this week they released a new trailer showing off the character customization aspects of the game, and it looks like they're going to be super in-depth compared to the Skyrim character customization. Because Skyrim, you know, you still had basic body types being used, and pretty much the only part of your character that you could change at all was in the facial region. So the trailer is hosted by art director Jared Carr, and he goes through all the little details of how you can effectively make who you want to make. From shoulder size to gut size, all the way down to how big your character's hands are, which is pretty cool, I guess. So if you're all interested in taking a look at that, I'll link you to the trailer down below. With all this brand new news, it basically assures that I will be spending more time creating my character than I will actually playing the game. So I think that about wraps it up for things that I had to talk about this week. As always, if I did happen to miss something or there was a major news story that I didn't cover, please be sure to let me know down in the comments how wrong I was, or I don't know, what I missed and how stupid I am. I don't know, anything. I like talking to you guys, even if it isn't insulting sometimes. And as always, I will link you to the stories that we covered today down below in the description. If this is the first time that you are joining me for some beer and some news, please be sure to subscribe so you can come back and join me next weekend. I always post on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, except for when I don't. So I think that about covers it. Until next time, I'm MacLeod. This has been Havin a Beer. Cheers, everybody.